Testing of hypothesis. Testing of hypothesis depends upon the type of hypothesis. There are three types of hypothesis. One is known as directional hypothesis, in which a direction of change is given. Second is known as non-directional hypothesis, in which there are differences, but in which direction differences are not given. And third is a null hypothesis, which states that there are no difference between the two samples, the two populations. So in this way, we have to find out the type of hypothesis to determine whether we will be using one-tail test, one tail of the NPC, or we will be using both the tails of the NPC. Now, if it is a directional hypothesis, suppose it's given the girls are superior than boys, then we will be using only the upper tail of the NPC. Or if we say boys are inferior to girls in this particular situation, we will be using the lower portion of the curve, that is below zero, or below on the minus side of the curve. Two extremes, one is highest, other is the lowest. So if it is either it is the direction of hypothesis that one group is superior than other, we will be using the higher side of the curve. And if we say that the one is inferior than the other, then we will use the lowest type of the curve. So in this way, the hypothesis decide. Now, if the hypothesis that there is significant difference between the two population or between the two samples, then we say we will be using both tails of the NPC. And if there is no difference, again we will be using the both tails of the hypothesis. Second, testing hypothesis, we sometimes we make no mistake, or sometimes we make type 1 error, or sometimes we make type 2 error. No, there are two levels of significance which is mostly used in hypotesting. One is 0.05 level of significance, other is 0.01 level of significance. 0.05 level जो है, if the sample is large, we say the value of t should be 1.96 or above, and at 0.01 level of significance, this value should be obtained value, calculated value, or the table value should be either 2.58 or more than 2.58. Now, we have an example. In this, we have found the t values, and the t value is greater than 2.58. Suppose it is 3, then there will be no error. We will be rejecting the null hypothesis, we accepting the alternate hypothesis. Now, if the value is less than 1.96, then there is no harm in accepting the null hypothesis and rejecting the alternative hypothesis. Now, the type of the error depends upon when the calculated value is between 1.96 and 2.58. Now, the obtained value or the calculated value is 2.3t. So it is higher than 1.96 and it is less than 2.58. Now, if we take the lower alpha, we say 0.05 ठीक है, उससे value ज़्यादा है, तो we will reject the null hypothesis and we will accept the alternative hypothesis. So in this way, we will be doing type 2 error. Now, if we say that the value should be more than 2.58, then if we choose a higher value, alpha value is more, 99% value we choose, then we say because the value is less than 2.58, it is this value is only due to chance. It is not due to the exact effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable, and we will reject the accept the null hypothesis and we reject the alternate hypothesis. So we will be committing type 1 error. So if we choose lower value of alpha, we are going to commit type 2 error. If we are choosing the higher value of alpha, we are going to commit type 1 error. And either we have to commit type 1 error or we have to commit type 2 error if the calculated value falls between the limits of 1.96 and 2.58. And if the value is less than 1.96 or it is more than 2.58, then our decision will be correct. We will be making neither type 1 error nor type 2 error. So this is how we test a hypothesis.